filled with several students who seemed readily engaged with their parents. The day still shone brightly. The blue skies and the calm wind, which rattled a few leaves from the trees, all drew my attention to a moment I had not even prepared for. I turned my eyes to the other side of the compound and caught sight of them seated. They had spared me some time. "Father, Mother, I didn't expect you to make it today. I thought you were too busy, even on Sundays," I commented. "Is that what you have learned about manners? Can't you first appreciate the fact that we made it on this visitation day?" Father said. I sat next to them as we talked more about my personal progress. My little brother had come along. His unsettled character could not sustain the seemingly boring conversation that Father and Mother had initiated. He slipped away from the place and began moving around the compound. "Dalton, get back here," Mother ordered. "I just want to take a tour on my own," my little brother replied. Soon, he was far from sight. What does he really think he is doing to disrespect us like this? I thought. Mother had not yet served the food they had packed, but Dalton had already left. "Let me bring him," I said, getting to my feet and taking the same direction he had gone. As I stepped closer to the canteen, my eyes caught this girl again. Feelings tried to pull me back into the boundaries of affection, but I refused to fling my heart that far again. Never cry over spilled milk, I believed. Sarah had no place in me anymore. Barely had I caught a glimpse of Sarah when I saw Dalton walking towards me. One thing he held changed the story, an ice cream in his right hand. He told me that a girl he did not know had bought it for him. "That brown girl," Dalton pointed into the crowd of students, only for me to notice Sarah waving back at him. "It's that very girl waving," Dalton confirmed. Sarah began moving closer. Her smile did not fade at any moment. It remained wide and clear. When she reached us, she paused. "Oh, Ronix, is this your—" she began. "My little brother," I finished her statement. "No wonder he was acting a little like you. Do you know what he said when I asked him what he was doing here? He was like, 'Why do you really care, saucy girl?'" He sounded sweet, but surprisingly confident for his age, Sarah said, amused. I looked at Dalton, then at Sarah. She deserved a level of trust I could not bring myself to give. Her eyes reflected care, while her actions revealed a kindness I had never expected from her. At least, this was one thing I had not yet overlooked. I smiled, then turned away to take Dalton back. As I reached some distance from her, I sensed that she had not moved. When I turned around, she was still looking at us, and that was when I remembered to say, "Thanks, Sarah." "Not much of a thank you, I happened to hear about this house-changing program." "Which house did you move to?" she asked, shifting the topic. "Tana, I left Zambezi," I replied. She beamed calmly, as though what I had said meant a lot to her. But the way she ended the conversation unsettled me. "I'm glad that my good friend has joined the same house as me. See you during practice." I heard the title with caution. She could have left it out, but she confirmed it. There was no going beyond friendship anymore. "Did she tell you the house she belongs to?" Jacob asked me during evening prep. "Of course, she belongs to Tana. Everyone loves that house," I replied, still focused on my writing. Jacob glanced around the class. Everyone seemed busy. Then he lowered his head and began to whisper, something that sounded like a rumor I did not want to hear. He spoke about how Tana House had always been the winner in school music, dance, and drama competitions, as well as inter-house sports, ever since the school began. Zambezi, on the other hand, had always come second, as though competition was something it never fully embraced. From this, he drew a conclusion, that students in Tana House never fail, just like him, though he seemed to forget about his failed relationship. Later, he asked me about Sarah. "Can you believe she rejected me so boldly?" I told Jacob as I put my pen down. Jacob looked on. "What did you expect? She's not coming back, just try elsewhere. But don't go for a senior one again," he said, pointing at me. I remained quiet. "Let me hope Karin is out already," Jacob added, watching me closely. "Did you drop that girl?" he persisted. Of course I had to. Everyone made it a topic as if I were some celebrity, I replied. "You're right. In the corridors and classrooms, the news spread like wildfire," Jacob added. After that, I felt my energy return. Maybe I was right. What I had always worked for had finally reached the exact point I desired. If many students were focusing on my relationships, Then it meant I had built the name I had always wanted, I thought. I tapped Jacob's knee and leaned closer to whisper in his ear. What I am about to do next might look like I'm craving attention, but you'd better watch my next move, and don't miss a single moment. Chapter 13.